make merchandise out of you, whose judgment now of a long time does not linger, and their condemnation does not slumber. For if our Elohim did not spare the angels, the messengers, the heavenly messengers of sin, but threw them down to, it says Tartarus, which is the Greek equivalent of what it's kind of a hell or a place of waiting, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved until judgment. And did not spare the old world, but he saved Noah, the eighth person, who was a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the wicked, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, he condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example to those who after should live sinfully. And he delivered just Lot, rescued him, vexed with the filthy lifestyles of the wicked. For that righteous man dwelling among them and seeing and hearing vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. Yahweh knows how to deliver the righteous out of temptations and how to reserve the unjust until the day of judgment to be punished. But chiefly them that walk according to the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government. Presumptuous are they, self-willed, and they are not afraid to speak evil of dignities, things that bring honor, or things that are in an authoritative position. Whereas heavenly messengers who are greater in power and might not bring railing accusation against them before Yahweh, but these types of people, like natural brute beasts, are made to be taken, captured, and destroyed. And they speak evil about the things that they do not understand, and they will totally perish in their own corruption, and they will receive the reward of unrighteousness. Like they who count it pleasure to ride in the daytime, they are spots and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings while they feast together with you, having eyes full of adultery, and who cannot cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls. They have a heart that's exercised with covetous practices. They are cursed children, who have forsaken the right way and have gone astray, following the way of Balaam, the son of Bosor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness. But he was rebuked for his iniquity, the dumb donkey speaking with a man's voice. He forbade the madness of the prophet. These types of people are wells without water. They are clouds that are carried with a tempest, a violent storm, to whom the mist of darkness is reserved forever. For when they speak great swelling words of vanity, of uselessness, meaninglessness, they allure through the lust of the flesh, through much wantonness, those that were clean escape from those who live in error. While they promise them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption, for of whom a man is overcome, or by whom a man is overcome, of the same is he brought into bondage. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Master and Savior, Yahushua, the Anointed One, they are then again entangled in it and overcome, conquered, and the latter end is worse with them than it was in the beginning. For it would have been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than, after they have come to know it, to turn away from the holy commandment that was delivered to them. But it is happened unto them according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the sow that was washed has returned to her wallowing in the mire.
All right. Questions, comments? Anybody?
That's what's happening today.
Definitely is.
It's never stopped happening.
I was just fixing to say the same thing in verse 1. but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable hearsay, even denying the master that brought them and bringing upon themselves swift destruction. And we see that today, a lot of the,
Like we said, I think he's talking here about righteous people and unrighteous. The same thing that Yeshua talked about. He talked about that in the world, there's the wheat, people that are wheat, and there's people that are tares. And each one of them shows their own way by their actions. You know? It doesn't take very much. You get to know a person pretty well, that you can tell whether they're a righteous person or seem to be. Tim, I think you got one over on the end over there.
And they're on that list too.
Thank you.
It doesn't take very long. If you get to meet one of these people that's talking about here that are unrighteous or evil, you get to know them a little while and you can pretty well tell what kind of person they are, you know? It doesn't mean they can't change, you know, because you take Shaul, Paul, went about killing believers. Couldn't get much worse than that.
That's true, but he thought he was doing it in righteousness.
He thought he was. Well, these
A lot of
people,
people that he's talking about here
they think they're doing fine. They really think they're fine.
Yeah.
They don't believe at all in Yahweh, Yeshua. They don't believe in righteousness. They don't believe in commandments. They don't believe in life. They don't care if they kill a person. Where do you think the murderers all come from? They don't care. They take innocent people out and kill them. The same type of people. And they're all around. They're everywhere.
Sure.
So I think he's talking there about these people and then those that are just completely bad. I don't know, I couldn't sleep hardly. We had a kitchen door there that one little tap, good hard tap, and it'd be open, you know? Until I could go and get me a good lock and put in there. I couldn't hardly lay down and go to sleep at night.
But shoot, half the time you couldn't even get it to close.
Do what?
Half the time it wouldn't even close and latch.
I know.
somebody wants to do that door, it wouldn't take them a minute to get through it. They really want through
It'd
it.
have to make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't bother me in the middle of the night.
All I'm saying, it wouldn't take them long and they'd be right in it. That door is only good to stop an honest person. That's all it's good.
That's already locked.
That's all, yep.
Come in, clear out our whole house.
Well, I like the door that pulls to the outside.
I can stay here
Harder to
all
kick
day,
in.
about 10 times before he wakes up.
Take a crowbar to it and I guarantee you it wouldn't take 60 seconds to be in there. Promise.
Thank you. Now I can go back to sleep.
Sorry, I didn't mean that.
I'll sure get a good night's sleep tonight.
You're in Yahweh's hands.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We've all got a point in time.
I really don't believe in keeping animals in the house. But that's one thing that I would keep an animal on the house for, is one that would wake me up if somebody come in.
Well, that's all that thing I got good for.
Yeah. Yours would definitely wake you up if anybody come in.
And that's what I meant.
He was driving by out on the road sometimes. He'll wake you up if somebody drives by during the middle of the night.
Dog out go out
Never
here,
have a dog.
That's why I call him doorbell most of the time.
come in on him. It gets you. You don't know you. It gets you.
But you told me it was okay.
Well, once I showed him that you was okay and I was okay with you, then he's all right. You saw I was growling at you first.
I didn't hear it. I probably got back in the truck.
Okay.
Now, right over here, you all might have seen the sign there.
The auction,
No, the other sign that said camper for sale.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
I stopped and looked at it. I've been wanting to buy a camper for out here. But it's really old. And I suspect that it would probably leak. He has it under a covering, you know?
Mhm.
And I think that's why he's got it under there. So I passed on it.
You see them all over the place.
What's he
I
asking
don't
for,
see him.
Buddy?
No?
No,
Buddy, how much he didn't want for?
he wanted 1,800 for it. A good price, but I think
Way it's bonded.
it's gonna be more trouble, more trouble than what it's worth.
You have to hire somebody to put bonding on.
No,
Sister-
you have to put another covering over it.
Sister Deborah,
Might as well.
what was her last name?
Wellington,
Wellington is coming down. She'll be down here next week. Yeah, next week. She'll be down on 5th day or 6th day. She's bringing her camper. She's gonna park out here. She's gonna be here throughout the whole feast.
Nice.
Sister Teresa enjoyed herself so much when she was here, she went back home and called her. Told her to come down. So she's coming down. Any other questions now about chapter 2 here? Any comments? All right, I guess we'll go to chapter 3 then. Stay right with it.
only 3 chapters.
This second letter, this is second epistle, beloved, I now write to you in both which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance, so that you may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets, and so that you'll be mindful of the commandment of us, the apostles of the Master and Savior, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, who are walking according to their own desires, their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? We thought he was going to return. For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they have since the